Hello and welcome. Yes, we're still talking about being thirsty. For us to experience life on God's terms, the Holy Spirit needs to live in us like we live in our house. What Jesus did in Galilee, the Holy Spirit does in us. He teaches, comforts, and convicts to Timothy 1:14. All believers have God in their hearts, but not all believers have given all their heart to him. The real question is not how can I have more of the Holy Spirit, but how can the Holy Spirit have more of me? Our actions can interrupt the flow of the Holy Spirit. So ask him to help you change those actions. Ephesians 4:31. It's how to restore his power in your life. It may take a while, but keep doing Luke 11:13. Let his wings sustain you and his engine be your power source. Accept, surrender, and keep at it, or ASK. The Holy Spirit doesn't always work in a phenomenal way. Most of the time, he works quietly, inobtrusively. He is so many things. Ephesians 1:13 and 14 is an example. Why does he seal us? A seal is a sign of ownership. It secures what's inside of us that's good. It's also a sign of Ephesians 4:30. How can we know God is trustworthy? Let's take a look at the word sovereignty. Notice REIGN in the middle. Reign. We know God reigns. To say he does means we realize his authority. That means he has veto power over everything that happens. No one else can make that claim. Psalms 115, verse 3. No one can oppose him. Isaiah 43:13. Know this, every single prophecy ever made will come to pass. Isaiah 46:10 and Ephesians 1:11. The prophet Jeremiah confirms it in Lamentations 3:37, as does Daniel 4:35. There are so many things in the word we don't begin to understand. So some people just choose to ignore those parts because they can't reconcile human suffering with absolute sovereignty. Yes, it's hard to understand that God is strong and he is good. Those two traits do go together. God cares, and that's what makes him so strong. The glitch is our priorities. They encompass the word we. God's priorities are us and what he knows is best for us. Isaiah 48:10 and 11 and chapter 63 verse 14. Blessings and trials come from God. Ecclesiastes 7:14. God is in charge of our itinerary on this earth. Even Jesus had to submit to the will of his Father. I have not read it, but check out the book by Margaret Clarkson called Grace Close Best in Winter. God's ways may not always make sense to us, but they are always right and good. As the cover of this book, Come Thirsty, says, there's no heart too dry for his touch. As far as Romans 8:37 is concerned, having troubles on this earth does not equal heavenly rejection. We need to get that thought out of our heads. The night he was arrested, all the disciples ran away in fear, but there's nothing that could not out they could not outrun, and that there was one thing they could not outrun, and that was the love that Jesus had for them, and neither can we. Notice how the first time Peter denied Jesus was by a fire. Then look at John 21:7-10. It tells the they met again on the beach of Galilee by a fire. God's love conquers our desertions, denials, and doubts. Psalm 103:11. We are always on his mind. We don't need to beg God to love us. He already does. Evangelist Mike Evans is proof. A previous pastor of mine got it totally right when he said, love is not something you say, it's something you do. There's a saying, love is like a butterfly. It goes wherever it pleases, and it pleases wherever it goes. How true. God's love is the same way. He loves who he loves this and he loves us empty and blesses us, and it blesses whoever receives it. Receive his love and be blessed by it. For more, read the book. Read the book for yourself and see what it has to say to you. Like the bottom of the book cover says, I'll repeat, no heart is too dry for his touch, so come thirsty and have a good long drink. There's a song that says, some days are diamonds, some days are stone, some days I'm chilled to the bone. Those are called days. Those cold days are the ones that happen when we let ourselves forget about Jesus, the ones when we are selfish. Those are the ones when we are in a hurry and think we're too busy for Jesus. The ones we say don't even take time for a quick prayer or a thank you to him. Then there are the diamond and the gold days. Those are hidden in the Word. To find those gold nuggets and diamonds, we need to take our spiritual shovels and dig into the Word. Each time we dig, those nuggets and diamonds will be different because we are further along in our journey, or we need a different nugget. In order to find them, you have to look, and that takes spending time in the Word with the Holy Spirit teaching you. It's a real shame so many people have Bibles in their home, but they never take it off the shelf and read it. They just leave it up there gathering dust. Or they just read it twice a year at Christmas and Easter, never really allowing either of those two precious stories to touch their heart or their thirsty souls. They come thirsty, but they don't bother to take a drink of that living water. To get the power in that water, you need to drink it daily. 1 or 2 drinks a year is not enough. The only way to stay properly hydrated is to stay in the Word. The Word tells us to stay away from things that pollute our minds. Do not buy into crystals, seances, Ouija boards, tarot cards. Leviticus 19:31, reading tea leaves, horoscopes, getting your fortune told. All those things bring doubt and confusion. Meditation can be good. Just be sure it's on the things of God. Psalms 19:14 and 1 Timothy 4:15. This week is Thanksgiving, so take time to give thanks unto the Lord Most High for all the blessing that He has given you throughout the year. You may send your prayer request to heanswerstwo@gmail.com.